Welcome to a Milk Market Tidbit for the June Dairy Products Report that the USDA released Friday afternoon. This is Dr. Lawrence Jones, and I'm recording this on Sunday morning, August the 9th. So the Dairy Products Report kind of pulls everything together for a month, and you can study this if you want, but there were no major changes in revisions for last month for either cheese or for butter. So we'll just go ahead and plot these out so we can see how everything came together now. Daily cheese production has been on this tremendous upward trend. Something really changed in 2024 and it came down, but again, you can see that these two trends are starting to merge together here. And cheese production was down just a little bit from what we thought it would on a seasonal level. And in my Sunday podcast, I'll explain why that actually happened. Now, if you have an interest in subscribing to that Sunday podcast, it's only $200 a year. Send me an email and I'll tell you how you can actually subscribe to that. But at the end of the day, the cheese production we had in June was the highest that we've ever had in June. So again, this is a bad look for cheese, I would suggest. And this did come in a little bit lower than we had expected, and that had a p-value of 0.28, so it was not significantly different at that p.2 level. American cheese production, kind of the same thing. It's been going up, came down in 2024, and the American cheese that we had in June is the highest that we've ever had. So again, kind of a bearish look to American cheese. American cheese is made up primarily of cheddar, so again, we're not going to have any major surprises here. It's been going up, major shift down in 2024, but the cheddar cheese production we had was more or less the highest. Now, we had a little bit higher in 2022, but again, this is a pretty ample amount of cheddar cheese being made. And the estimate for that came in higher than we had expected in a p.01, so that is statistically significant deviation from the expected, which would suggest that cheddar production is accelerating. Italian cheese is a little bit different. Yes, we've been in an upward trend, and this is the one that we primarily are going to export. And this Italian cheese production was about the same as last year, and it was off of the seasonal adjusted number, which is why overall cheese was down. Whey had been on a slight downward trend, and actually we've just come right back to that. Again, something changed in 2024, and then we've been increasing up, and now we're back to that long-term trend. Butter production is very, very seasonal, so that had been coming up a little bit in 2024. We started an accelerated uptrend, and the butter production we had in June is the highest we've ever had. So again, a very poor look for butter here. And that came in significantly higher than the estimate, p.008. So again, that is suggesting that butter production is accelerating more than it typically would. Non-fat dry milk had been kind of increasing. Again, 2024 is when something significantly changed, but these are beginning to come together here. And we had some major peaks in non-fat dry milk production, 2020 through 2023, and we've really pulled this down. And again, there's kind of an argument as to why this is happening, and again, I'll go over that in the Sunday podcast. Ice cream has been very strong this year. We've been on this downward trend, and then we started coming up, and we're up significant this year, and I think that's what's really kind of pulling a lot of the cream out of the system at the moment is ice cream. But again, the seasonality of this is we're going to start falling off here pretty quick as summer comes to an end. Yogurt production has been headed up here fairly significantly, and usually I comment on cottage cheese, but yogurt is actually about 5 times more volume than cottage cheese. So this is fairly significant that this has gone up on an upward trend here. And again, a cottage cheese is very, very strong. Only 2.8 million pounds compared to 15 million pounds of yogurt. And we could say that this really started in around 2023. Again, there was some significant advances here in 2023 as it related to TikTok and moving into a high protein craze, but cottage cheese has really benefited from that. So this week we had the global dairy trade and the June exports, the class components, which I did a Milk Market Tidbit on, and then the Dairy Products Report. Next week, really all we're going to have is the statistical uniform prices. So the next Milk Market Tidbit probably will be early the following week as all that data comes together.